Good quality dry cat food. This a reality or a fantasy? This is the third in a series of videos I'm doing on the problems with dry cat food. In this video I'm going to be discussing the importance of the gut microbiome. This problem isn't exclusive to dry cat food, it's across all the commercial cat foods, but it's probably much worse in the dry cat food for reasons which I will explain. So what is a microbiome? It just means an environment. So a gut microbiome is a microenvironment that is related just to your gut, the stomach and the intestines. A healthy microbiome is teeming with microorganisms, and I mean teeming. It's estimated that there are 10 times more bacterial cells than normal cells, and that's just the bacteria. There's also fungal and viral cells, and yet more to be discovered. To people not familiar with this, it sounds bad. After all, vets prescribe antibiotics, antifungal, antiviral drugs for a reason, right? Well, no, not entirely. It turns out that the gut microbiome is essential to health. Killing off the microorganisms can seem a good idea because the local symptoms may temporarily improve, but the overall cost to health is high. This is new to science and not properly understood yet, but what is known is that a healthy gut microbiome aids digestion and supports nutrient absorption, at the very least. This is critically important to how healthy your cat is. Some people say that a healthy gut compromises up to 90% of the immune system, and it's easy to see why. So what, you might be asking? The microorganisms flourish on the same food cats do, the ones they evolved on. The microbiome of the being and the natural food for them is one and the same. It can't be otherwise. And it's a delicate balance. It can easily be upset by foods that are not natural to the species and by synthetic chemicals, such as processed foods and preservatives, as well as veterinary drugs. When you feed food that is foreign to the being, as happens with commercial cat food and dry cat food in particular, this balance is upset. The refined foods, the synthetic additives, the hydrolyzed foods, the high plant-based content, the low-quality protein, as discussed in the first video of this series, don't nourish your cat and don't nourish these invaluable and almost invisible microorganisms. This upsets the delicate balance of the gut environment, and the result is known as dysbiosis. Dysbiosis leads to chronic digestive disorders, including inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, leaky gut, pain, diarrhea, vomiting, colitis, to name just a few. One reason this is worse in dry cat food is because to keep this food on this shelf literally for years, it needs strong chemical preservatives. More unnatural foreign substances that are unknown to the cat system, that can't be used by the cat, that upset the delicate balance of the microbiome, and that are so toxic they're not used in human food. When your cat is suffering with dysbiosis, there is no condition that will not develop because they're not absorbing the nutrients that are needed for health. It'll start with acute and minor infections and other problems, often at increasingly regular intervals. But the chronic condition normally goes unnoticed for years because the body is always trying to manage with what it has. Everyone, including cats, tries really hard to stay alive in some form of health within the environment of their life. In my experience, and in those who focus on the right food for the species, chronic diseases can be reversed, either completely or partially, by simply changing the diet to a healthy one, the one that particular species evolved on. People often try to treat this themselves without understanding what's happening, or they take the cat to the vet. But mainstream vets have not been trained to recognise this condition. After all, they sell the very food that contributes to this condition. I believe millions of cats are killed every year simply because of dysbiosis, which is a very treatable condition. It doesn't have to be this way. You can learn to feed your cat a healthy way, which is also a convenient way. Most of us are busy with little spare time, Certainly my way takes a little more time than simply opening a packet, but not much more, not when you know how. You may never know how much this saves you and your cat, not just in monetary terms, but anguish too, not to mention pain. If you'd like some help finding better and healthier food for your cat to live healthier and longer lives, please check out my website below, www.naturalcathealth.com/dry-cat-food.